The first primetime Sunday night game of the season, Kirk Morrison. It feels like NFL football. There are people everywhere streaming inside to the stadium, and we are off and running on the 2021 season. Cannot wait.
Oh, this is for real. This isn't fake. This isn't preseason. This is the real deal. You can tell when you're pulling up to the stadium and you're starting to see droves of people walking up. You're seeing different jerseys, right? You're seeing all the Rams colors. You're starting to see some Chicago Bears fans who come in attendance. This is history. The fans finally get a chance. Look, you hear people in the background. Everybody's excited. Look, the gates just opened at 3 o'clock.
No, we got 2+ hours till kickoff, right? And they're fired up already.
They were lined up, and I'm saying, what is going on? Are they giving away something? And they're like, no, we just want to get inside the stadium, and it looks immaculate.
Well, last year, obviously, they played without fans, and we've seen some people come in during the preseason and certainly got to enjoy the building during that situation as well. But this is different, Kirk. I mean, this is going to be full house. This is going to be players that we know. This is going to be a game that counts in the standings, that everything that we haven't seen for a year happens tonight. The Rams in SoFi in front of fans for a game that matters.
Yeah, I mean, this is the for real of the for real. Last year, just think about this time. The Rams were getting ready to play the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football to start the 2020 regular season. And it just didn't really feel like a real opener. I mean, it was the opener of the season, but it was no fans.
Right.
And this place was built for the fans. This place was built for the Rams house. This was built for the Rams fans to really feel like, you know what? Those years in the Coliseum were good.
Yeah.
But now this is our home. This is our place. And you're seeing people walk around here right now with a sense of pride.
Sure.
Like I've seen more people walked out with their chest poked out.
Check this place out.
Their head lifted, saying, this is our home. This is our place. And, it's fantastic just to see just the faces, the smiles, just the happiness as we get ready to watch the Rams kick off 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. This place is going to look amazing tonight when everybody gets a chance to see it on TV. Everybody that's coming out is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Los Angeles. So looking forward to that. Let's talk about what we're going to see on the field tonight. What we're going to see for the first time. We didn't really see it unless you're going to the joint practices, maybe a little clip on the news or the internet here or there. We're going to see Matthew Stafford play quarterback for the Rams for the very first time in a situation that it matters. What are your expectations?
Well, my expectation is he's going to be nervous early. I mean, no matter what, I don't care how many years you've played a sport or with one team, there is going to be nerves because you're at some point you want to feel like this is brand new to me because for the first 12 years of my career, I was a Detroit Lion. Mm-hmm. And I knew what the expectation was for me. The expectations now have risen because he's come to a team that is built for a championship. This team isn't just built to make the playoffs. We've done that before. This team is built to win a Super Bowl. And so you get a little nervous just because you're coming into a new situation and you want to be at your best. You want to prove to yourself that what happened in Detroit, that was Detroit. I want to prove to everybody that I'm an upper echelon quarterback, that I'm one of those top-tier quarterbacks that you need to talk about this season. So I think you have a lot to deal with if you're Matthew Stafford, only because there's a lot more pressure in an opener with the Rams than it was for his years in Detroit.
Yeah, so, okay, you went right there. And this is one of the things that I want to talk about because let's go back to Thursday night, the kickoff of the NFL season. You get to see the Bucs and the Cowboys. And we saw it. And the second that Tom Brady got the ball back with about a minute and a half to go and knowing that he just needed to get a field goal to win that game, there's the sense of, yep, Tom Brady's going to do this because we've seen him do it 1,000 times in important situations for important teams and important games. So you just kind of know that Tom Brady has been through that fire 1,000 times.
Correct.
What you just said, I think, is really important, and that's this, that Matt Stafford has had a really fantastic NFL career. He's thrown for a ton of yardage. He's thrown for a million touchdowns, et cetera, et cetera. The fact of the matter is, every single season that he's been in this league, the Detroit Lions were not expected to go to the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions, quite frankly, were rarely expected to make the playoffs. Right. They were just a team that was hoping to win more than they lose, and if they get into the playoffs, that's a successful season.
Right.
We got it. Okay, we did what we're supposed to do. This is totally different. Like you just said, this is a season that starts tonight against the Bears that doesn't end with, hey, what a great start, let's see what happens next. It ends with, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's a totally different pressure that he's never had to experience before.
Yeah, I think kind of going back to your original question, though, because you did ask me, like, what am I expecting of him? And I was just saying I was expecting nerves because of some of the pressure that is now being put on Matthew Stafford. The Rams aren't sneaking up on anybody.
No.
The Rams are a good football team.
No.
And I go back to last year, 2020, when Tom Brady his first opportunity with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it didn't go quite well for him because there were some nerves. He was pressing a little bit. Tommy had been in New England for how many years, right? And then all of a sudden you go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you want to go out and prove to everyone that I am one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this game. Now, we know how the season ended up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm looking at Matthew Stafford, and I think my similar expectation is for him to, first of all, him and Sean McVay have to work well together tonight. And when I say work well, how do you ease Matthew Stafford into this game plan? I mean, is it just going to be, hey, let's just go throw a couple deep balls? Do you think
they take a shot at too early?
Take a shot at too early. You know what I mean? Let's just swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Or does it, hey, let's try to develop this running game that we may have some question marks about. Let's try to get these new receivers to complement Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. Let's maybe get those guys going a little bit early as well. So I'm really interested, Travis, in seeing what the script looks like. What's those first 15 plays look like for the Los Angeles Rams tonight? How do they get the ball? How do they disperse the football? Because that'll tell me my expectation of Matthew Stafford. Is he just making the routine plays, or is he trying to hit the home runs early on?
Well, you talked about the script, and we've seen it over the years under Sean McVay, that the Rams come out on that opening drive and almost always look very, very sharp. What they have in mind, they go out there and they go right down the field, they score some points, hopefully. But what about just the rust factor? I mean, we have not seen this group of guys play football yet. Matt Stafford has, practice is one thing, games are different. This is a totally different environment. Nerves, one thing, I think that's probably normal for everybody, maybe a little bit more so for Matt Stafford, new team expectations to come along.
Correct.
What about just rust factor? What about just not having done this at game speed against a game opponent that's going to be throwing everything they have? They're scheming for your offense, et cetera, et cetera. This isn't just a straight-up vanilla defense. What about just rust game one of the season with no real preseason reps to count for?
Well, I think the Rams have had some ratcheted up practice, right? They've ratcheted up, they've got it going a little bit. They get a lot of, to me, they get a lot of fast periods, ones on ones, good on good. And they play at or they practice at a tempo that they know come game time, it actually may be a little bit slower. Sometimes you practice faster than what happens on the game day because of you can control the environment a little bit more. Where I remember in the NFL, the referee has to get the football. They got to place the ball. Yep. So it's a little bit different. And I'm looking at the landscape or just the way that, so far, week one of the NFL, how it played out. The Chargers were a team that had Brandon Staley, who's the former Rams defensive coordinator. He took a page out of Sean McVay's book, and Justin Herbert and the Charger offense looked like they were okay not having played a lot in the preseason. I look at Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow, another
great win for them today.
Another disciple of Sean McVay. Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, they went out and got a win today. So I'm looking at the coaches that have coached under Sean McVay and how they've treated their players through this offseason, through the preseason. They were all ready to go today. They came ready to play. They actually got out to some fast starts, and that's what I'm expecting from the Rams today as well, and especially Matthew Stafford, that there won't be much rust because they practice at a different speed and a different tempo. They're walking into today healthy. That's the biggest thing.
Any advantage, Kirk, to be gained from the fact that they're playing an NFC North team, that the Chicago Bears are somebody that he's gone up against 20 times in his career, something that he's seen over and over? Maybe he knows some of the tendencies of some of the players that, this isn't the first time he goes up the line of scrimmage and there's Khalil Mack getting ready to go. He's done this before. Okay, I know that guy. I know what he does. I know the kind of pressure he brings. I know how fast he is. All of the things that come along with having an opponent that's familiar. Does that help him today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It helps him because you're my resident baseball guy, so I lean on you for my baseball knowledge a lot of times.
Max Scherzer's perfect game just went away. There you go.
See, I didn't want to mess it up, but but you do got to think though. There's certain pitchers that just from history. Like, I got to watch, man, this guy's got a nasty curveball, man. And it doesn't matter. And he's going to throw that curveball at some point. I think it's the same thing with Matthew Stafford. He knows their guy. He knows their best pitch. And if you know what a guy's best pitch is, basically a Khalil Mack rush, I know he's going to try to rush on the outside. I know I'm going to have to step up. Or he likes to bull rush inside. I may have to fade back to the left a little bit to get the ball off, buy me a little more time. It does help because you know who to go at and who not to go at in that secondary. For the Chicago Bears, they'll have a little bit different scheme. They got a new defensive coordinator, but at the same time, I still feel that it is an advantage knowing the guys across from you because you've been up against them. I guess, who to pick on. And
yeah,
who not to pick on.
I've had success against that guy. I've had
Right.
a little less success against that guy. Maybe I'm going to go left instead of right, right? It's like anything else, like any other sport. If I know your moves, if I know what you like, and maybe even more particular, what you don't like, what do you struggle with, then I can take advantage of that. Okay, we got a lot going on, getting you ready for the Bears and the Rams here from SoFi Stadium. 7-time Pro Bowler Torrey Holt is scheduled to join us coming up here in just a little bit. If you're heading out to the Rams game today, and afterwards you may be looking for something to let the parking die down a little bit so you can get out, why don't you come over with Kirk and myself over to the Hollywood Park Casino for our Coors Light post-game show. We will be there for 2 hours following the conclusion of tonight's game. We don't have to go anywhere tonight, Kirk. We get to stay right here at SoFi, walk across the street to Hollywood Park Casino. We got you covered.
Yeah, trust me. I am going to indulge in some adult beverages tonight. Just giving you a heads up. I'm not saying it may be around on me tonight, but you never know. The way the game may go tonight.
You see if I say no. See if I say no. It's all coming up on the Rams Countdown to Kickoff on 710 ESPN.
LA's mega sports station has even more live and local. Hit it!
LA Sports Talk.
Start your day with LA's #1 sports morning show, Keyshawn in the Morning. Now with Max Kellerman.
Hit it! Yes, I opened the door for Max to join this show on 710 ESPN.
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max goes until 10 a.m.
You're satisfied. Travis and Sliwa are talking Lakers, Dodgers, and Rams from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Travis and Sliwa gets an extra hour. Now with more live and local LA sports talk every single day.
Then it's Mason and Ireland 1 to 4 p.m. And Sedano and Cap have your afternoon drive until 7.
It's George Sedano. It's Scott Kaplan. Hit it!
The new fall lineup with even more LA sports talk.
Even more LA Sports Talk.
710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Travis and Sliwa. Monday morning, we're all over the Rams game right here on 710 ESPN.
Yeah, we will be, but that's not important. What is important, the best segment in LA radio, it's Ask Slee. You got one for us, Rampage?
What do you got there?
Whose house?
Rams house.
Travis and Sliwa, weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of Rams football and LA sports talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
Don't miss the Coors Light postgame show live.
Join us Sunday night at HBC for a Rams postgame party.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
We'll see you Sunday night at the Rays Lounge inside Hollywood Park Casino.
Yeah.
Season starts, we put a ton of work into this. You know, you guys see us out here practicing in the summer and leading up to it, but there's so much work that goes into this, starting months ago.
It begins tonight for Sunday Night Football.
The Rams, the Bears.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams. You're listening to Rams Countdown to Kickoff with Travis Rodgers and Kirk Morrison.
Hi, this is Taylor Rapp. This is the home of your LA Rams.
Started and intercepted! Broken up in picks! Taylor Rapp on the deflection.
710 ESPN.
Once again, here's Travis Rodgers and Kirk Morrison.
All right, week 1 of the NFL season. Always fun to get it started, and even more fun to do it with a Rams legend, joined right now by 7-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champ, Torrey Holt, joining us right out here at the front of the SoFi Stadium. Torrey, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me on whose house?
Rams house. There you go. Absolutely. Torrey, so take me through, what's it like opening day? Obviously, you only get a handful of games every season, but the first one is a little different.
I've just been saying unbelievable the whole time since I've gotten here. The drive up, I'm telling the driver to slow down because I'm wanting to get every visual. I'm wanting to get everything captured. But unbelievable, man. And I said it early in the week. I did a couple interviews early in the week, and I just talked about how excited I am for our fans.
Right.
They get an opportunity to experience SoFi Stadium. It's beautiful to enjoy one another. It's just to be around people. We need people. So it's good to see that the fans are enjoying it. And then they can be spoiled, too. If this football team meets the expectations that's on them, they'll also get an opportunity to watch a really, really good football team as well.
But tell me more about Rams House, because you are a legendary Ram, and this is like the stadium for the Rams. Like, this is a Rams stadium now. How does it feel being a former Ram to not finally have their palace?
It was amazing. Look, I played in St. Louis, which was great. The dome was amazing. The turnout was awesome. Come here to L.A., was in the Coliseum originally. That was an amazing experience. And now to have our own stadium, SoFi Stadium. I know we have a tenant or we have someone that we sublease with, whoever that is. But it's Rams' house.
It is.
And we have the fans to show that, and then we also have the football team to show it as well.
Tori, what about those expectations that you talked about that maybe Rams fans get a little spoiled? You've been in this situation. You were a Super Bowl champ. You were on the team. Coming into the season is expected not just to have a good year, not just to make the playoffs, but hey, go win the Super Bowl. What about the pressure of that type of expectation?
Well, that's what comes with LA. Being in LA for one, they expect winners, and Coach McVay expects winners. These players want to win championships. And Aaron Donald has spoiled us.
I'll say.
Every single year, we know what we can get from Aaron Donald, a championship level. Hopefully that continues to permeate and rub off on his teammates. And then bringing in someone like Matthew Stafford, who they feel like is going to be a huge piece to the success of the team. I'm excited to watch him. And then they got a really good opponent in the Chicago Bears to get off to a good start against.
I think about Isaac Bruce. I think about yourself, Ricky Pro, Oz Hakeem. Marshall Faulk, that offense that you were a part of. And I think of Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, throw Tyler Higbee in that as well. When you look at the Rams skill position guys, what jumps out at you the most about the Rams skill positions?
What I like the most about them, I had a chance to spend time with them in the classroom. And what stuck out to me was just how unselfish they were with one another. Unselfish, encouraging of one another, competitive.
Right.
The starters, Kupp and Woods, those guys set up in the front, so they set the tempo of what the room was going to be like. Kurt, you know how important that is.
It is.
And then they go out, and then they're the hardest working men on the team. And we got some dogs on our team that work really hard, but our receivers work as hard, if not harder, than everyone on the team. Again, setting the tempo, and then they go out on Sundays and they're consistent. What I love about them on Sundays, they're always available. And when they get the ball in their hands, something happens when they get the ball in their hands. So game changers in so many ways. Set the tempo and example in practice as well as in the classroom. And now it's with the receivers and companies, they're playing too. They understand the importance of bringing a championship now back to the organization, being that they have the pieces in place.
Rams legend, Super Bowl champ Torrey Holt joining us here before the Rams and the Bears tonight. So, Torrey, with those position players in mind, with those skill guys in mind, being one of those guys, how long does it take to develop that rhythm, that understanding of, I know what you're going to do even before you do it, you know what I'm going to do even before I do it? What should our expectations be for those wide receivers with a quarterback they practice with but never played with?
I think there's a rhythm established, so we'll see some of that tonight, but we'll also maybe see some growing pains as well because, again, you have to – it's a different tempo getting it in practice. It's a different tempo rhythm getting it in the game. Just things happen faster in the game, so that will come as they go. But they're in good. I'm pretty sure they're in good rhythm right now. Mm-hmm. They've all practiced. I hadn't heard anything about them missing any practices or being hurt anything. So I think that continuity we'll see again tonight. But there's just so much more that will be accomplished as the season goes on and beyond. But the talent, the play calling, the ability, the skill, we'll see on Showcase tonight.
You play with the great Kurt Warner, some of the great quarterbacks that played for the Rams. If there was some advice that Torrey Holt can give Matthew Stafford tonight, what would you sprinkle into that mind of Matthew Stafford?
Use your guys. Let your be the facilitator. Okay. Get the running backs the ball. Get them the check downs if it's there. The receivers are open. Make the throws. Just facilitate the game. Right. Allow things to come naturally to you. Have fun. Don't try to do too much. Use the talent around you to win ball games. That's what I would tell Matthew Stafford. And more importantly, have a ton of freaking fun at Rams House.
Torrey, tonight you're going to receive the Rams Iconic Award, and you're coming in here to do this. So it's got to be such an unbelievable feeling to get recognized by the organization that you did so many things for, to have them say, you know what, you're one of our guys, you're an important part of this organization. That has to feel fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I played 10 years for the St. Louis Rams, now the LA Rams, this Rams organization, 10 years putting it on the line every single day, going out and practicing hard, enjoying my teammates, being a leader on and off the football field was something that I took tremendous pride in. And I still take a tremendous amount of pride now in being a Ram. So for them to be able to bring me back to say hello to the fans, and for some of our fans to actually get a chance to know me even more.
Sure,
right. You know, they know me as 88 out the gate. Oh, catch a touchdown. But it's good now. They get a chance to see me, get a chance to touch me, get a chance to talk. I'm around them. They can feel and see the energy. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. Really getting a chance to know our Rams fans here in LA and Rams fans throughout. This is a great place. If you want to see me, this is a great place.
Come here. Come here. This is how you do it. 88 out the gate. Torrey Holt, 7-time Pro Bowler.
No doubt.
Super Bowl champion as well. Torrey, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, all right. Rams. Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house? That's what's up, y'all.
Yeah, that's how you do that. No, thanks again to Torrey Holt. And you can feel it, right? Everybody's excited, Kirk. Everybody is so excited to get to do this. I know that there was a season last year. Rams had a really good season. Right. I know there's been a couple of preseason games so far this year. This feels different. There's just an energy to this today. There's just an energy to the fans. There's an energy coming into the building that just feels so fantastic today.
Well, it's a different energy because of not only the opponent, but the people who get a chance to witness it, right? Like I said, last year, think about if it was against the Dallas Cowboys. It would be a much different situation. But knowing the opponent, knowing it's week one, what we've all went through a year ago to where we're at right now currently, you can sense it. People appreciate it. I mean, I watch the pictures throughout the day and seeing full stadiums, seeing people loud and cheer and yell and put on their colors. That's what it's all about, but you can see it's beaming throughout this stadium.
All right, so what are we going to see from the Bears tonight? Obviously, the story for the Bears coming in is when is Justin Fields going to play, right? It's just a matter of when is it going to happen, more so than if it's going to happen. We know that Andy Dalton is going to start tonight, but what do you think the chances are that we see some Fields?
Oh, we're going to see some Fields.
Yeah.
I think so, because if you would have asked me before today, will we see Trey Lance, the backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers? We saw Trey Lance. He threw a touchdown pass, I think, today. You're going to see some of these rookie quarterbacks throughout the year, and Justin Fields is the reason why there are some Bears fans in attendance.
Oh, sure.
Because they want to see the future of their franchise, right? They want to see the guy who they think can take them to a couple of championships, right? Who can dominate the now NFC North. They know there will be a changing of the guard in that division, right? Aaron Rodgers, we think probably maybe his last year in Green Bay. You start to look at that group of quarterbacks now in the NFC North. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and Jared Goff had an okay performance today, but there was some things that we saw familiar tendencies that we saw today. Kirk Cousins really hasn't lit the league on fire that people thought he would.
He is what he is.
And so you insert Justin Fields, and dare I say, in a couple seasons, could he be the best quarterback in the NFC North? That's what the sense of pride that I'm seeing from these Bears fans and why they were coming out, because their expectations that he is going to play is just as how much, I think.
What do you do if you're Matt Nagy? And, I mean, are you coming into this looking for opportunities to put him in? Because go back to the Rams a few years ago when they had a number 1 draft pick in Jared Goff. They waited for 9 games to go off the board before they finally decided to put him in. And once he was in, that was it. He was in. He was their starting quarterback from that point forward. Didn't go very well. 0-7, and then when obviously Sean McVay comes in after that and things turn around. But what are the Bears waiting for? Is it going to be a little bit of him, or is it going to be Dalton right up until, okay, we're done with this, now Fields?
Well, I think let's just be real that Jeff Fisher really did not handle that situation well with Jared Goff his rookie year. Basically just sitting him down and letting Case Keenum be the starter. You still have to incorporate, I think, a rookie quarterback in what you do on day-to-day. You just can't let him go through the motions at practice and then all of a sudden come game day, hey, here's a clipboard, go sit down and listen to the plays in your headset.
Right.
Like at some point, hey, let's give him a series here. Let's give him 3 or 4 plays. Let's give him a package just to see what it feels like. I always told people this. There is a difference in preseason speed versus real game speed. Because the real game speed are the guys who have actually made the team. The guys who are Pro Bowlers and they know how to get it done. And now all of a sudden it's what things used to happen in for Justin Fields, and he said during preseason, it was pretty easy at first. And then next week got his head knocked off because he didn't realize this is a humble game. This game will humble you a lot. And so I think that's something that we'll see tonight as well, how fast the game may be for him. And then Matt Nagy's job is to make it slow down. He was with the Kansas City Chiefs when they had Alex Smith, who was a starter. They brought in this quarterback from Texas Tech named Patrick Mahomes, and they made a seamless transition, but it was because they sat Mahomes throughout the year. But at some point, they're like, we got to get him out there, and once Mahomes took over, he just already knew.
Yeah, he was all right. He seems to have kind of figured it out a little bit. A Super Bowl win, an MVP. I guess if you're looking for those kind of things, Patrick Mahomes isn't a bad way to do it. All right, let's talk a little bit about that Rams defense that you just mentioned right here. What are we going to see from Aaron Donald? What are we going to see from Jalen Ramsey? And in particular, what are we going to see from Rams' new defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris? That is all coming up. Plus, we've got a top 3 games coming up. It is right here on the Rams Countdown to Kickoff on 710 ESPN.
LA's mega sports station has even more live and local. Hit it!
LA Sports Talk.
Start your day with LA's #1 sports morning show, Keyshawn in the Morning. Now with Max Kellerman.
Hit it! Yes, I opened the door for Max to join this show on 710 ESPN.
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max goes until 10 a.m.
You're satisfied. Travis and Sliwa are talking Lakers, Dodgers, and Rams from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Travis and Sliwa gets an extra hour. Now with more live and local LA sports talk every single day.
Then it's Mason and Ireland 1 to 4 p.m. And Sedano and Cap have your afternoon drive until 7.
It's George Sedano. It's Scott Kaplan. Hit it!
The new fall lineup with even more LA sports talk.
Even more LA sports talk.
710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Travis and Sliwa. Monday morning, we're all over the Rams game right here on 710 ESPN.
Yeah, we will be, but that's not important. What is important, the best segment in LA radio,
It's Ask Slee. You got one for us, Rampage? What do you got there? Whose house? Whose house? Rams house.
Travis and Sliwa, weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of Rams football and LA sports talk all day long. 710 ESPN.
Don't miss the Coors Light postgame show live.
Join us Sunday night at HBC for a Rams postgame party.
Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
We'll see you Sunday night at the Rays Lounge inside Hollywood Park Casino.
Yeah.